Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Harmon Homestead in the kitchen, and we are continuing our series on bread making. Y'all, I was at the store 2 weeks ago, and I noticed that a loaf of bread, the cheapest loaf, was $3.50. $3.50 for a loaf of bread. Now, I've shown you videos on Irish soda bread, other types of bread, but today I'm going to show you how to make loaf bread. That's all you need. Now, let me run over a little math with you real quick. This is cheaper than buying bread at the store. But this loaf bread is going to be honey loaf bread, which makes it a little bit more expensive, but the taste is so worth it, y'all. Like, it's so worth it. First thing you need is all-purpose flour. We're going to use 6 cups. 6 cups of all-purpose flour. If you have bread flour, that's fine. Use that. Honey, for what we're using is a 1/4 cup. That is going to be 79 cents off the brand that I buy. Yeast, 32 cents for this pack. Now, you can get it in bulk, have it cheaper, and that's what it was. So, 32 cents. And that's like a 3-pack that you tear apart. Yeast, active yeast. An egg, right now, I'm not even going to count the cost of the egg because that would take this whole notepad to go through those notes to tell you how much an egg costs on the homestead. 2 teaspoons of salt. Most people have salt, okay? That's it. That's all we're using for this. If I can make bread, you can make bread. And I'm not talking about hardtack bread. I'm talking about beautiful loaf bread. Okay, let's get after it. First thing you need to do, well, I guess I need to tell you the total. The total for all this is going to be, we're going to make 2 loaves here, okay? Got my loaf pans, $2.54 for 2 loaves. So per loaf, $1.27. And no, I'm not counting the electricity to run this oven. Like, that's getting extreme, okay? I'm just telling you it's $1.27 to make this loaf of bread. You can't beat that. You cannot. And this is honey. You can leave the honey out and it'd be cheaper, okay? So we had honey. We hardly ever use it. I said, I'm going to put it to use to make honey bread. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to empty my yeast packet into this beautiful Pyrex bowl that's vintage. This does not have to be hard, y'all, okay? I think people make cooking way harder than it is. Throw it down in there, the whole thing. 1.5 cups of warm water. I'll put it in here. Okay. Like so. You may want to kind of stir it around. So now we've got 1/4 cup of honey. A little bit of it has crystallized in here, but that's fine. We're going to throw it down in our yeast mixture. I'm going to set this aside because we're going to need this to measure out our flour. Mix it up a little bit. And then you're going to add your flour in here. But we're going to wait. I'd give it 10-15 minutes and come back to it. Okay? Because you need the yeast to rise. Then we're going to do our flour, our egg, and then we're going to let this dough rise. This takes nothing, y'all, really. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. We'll come back in about 15 minutes, okay? Let's see here first. I'm going to take my duck egg, okay? Love my ducks. We have Muscovies. You can, if you have a bread machine, use it. If you've got a mixer, which I do, but a lot of times I just rather do stuff by hand. It's easier than me trying to get out a mixer that weighs 25 pounds. And I've got it on the counter. I just honestly don't ever even use it because everything by hand works just fine. Alright, egg looks good. It's stirred up in there. And if you have never made cornbread with a duck egg, try that. Try it. Alright. And I always keep tea towels everywhere all over my kitchen. I cannot stress enough. Tea towels, washcloths, reuse them. You won't have to use paper towels as much. Guys, that's the way to go. Okay, flour. Now, I've already been in this sack, okay? And my measure here is for 2 cups. And do not, y'all, do not think, oh, well, it's not exactly perfect. Who cares? Throw it in there. It'll make. that's a little bit more than I wanted. So I'm gonna say that's 1/2 cup. So on this round, I'm going to do just 1 1/2. Very good. Okay, that's it. At this point, take your spoon, go as far as you can, trying to mix this in. And don't forget your salt. Just like that, okay? This does not have to be hard. I'm gonna put a tea towel over this, let it sit for 1 hour, and we'll come back to it, okay guys? It's been 1 hour. What I've done is I've greased my loaf pans with just vegetable shortening. Both of these, even though they say non-stick, I would go in and grease my pans, okay? So let's look at the dough after 1 hour. Yay! Look at that, and it is warm. I mean, it's activating, it's growing, it's rising, so that's wonderful. What we're going to do is I'm going to divide this and put it in each loaf pan. You don't want it to completely fit your pan because it's going to rise even more. Now, we're done with this bowl. Take your kitchen towel, tea towel, throw it back over it. Now, set the oven to 350. Wait for a little while, let it rise. You could go another hour again, okay? So don't think that you've messed up if you're not in here immediately to do this. About an hour, and then we're gonna put it in the oven at 350. All right, so we got the bread out of the oven. I want you to see this. Look at that. Now, I was not impressed with the color. It just looked bland on top, so I baked this at 350 for 37 minutes, both loaves. And then at the end of 37 minutes, it looked browned up and done, but I took it out and I took a stick of butter and just coated it just a little bit and then stuck it back in the oven for 3 more minutes. So 40 minutes and coated the top with butter. Look at this, y'all. So I took a loaf out of the pan already, and I want you to see this. I've already taken a bite off one piece. Look at the loaf bread. Guys, if I can do this, you can do this.